Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I do want to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, which is Keen. You guys have probably heard me talk about them quite a bit on this channel, but if you guys have not heard of them before, they are essentially a really large online psychic network full of mediums, tarot readers, spiritual advisors, the works, you name it, they got it, it's on there. So a few of the things that I really enjoy about Keen and why I think that they are absolutely worth checking out is because of their amazing flexibility. If you guys have a certain budget or price range that you like to stay in, there's so many different psychics online at a time that actually offer different price ranges, so you guys can find one that actually matches your budget, as well as the fact that you can actually choose your method of interacting with your psychic. The fact that they have instant message or email or phone call makes it really accessible and easy based on your personal needs and your personal wants and desires. Another great thing about Keen is that since they're online, they are 24/7 and you can use them from anywhere in the world, whenever, wherever, whether you're at home cooking a meal or you're at work. Although I don't really recommend using them at work because you're supposed to be working, but no one's judging. Keen also does their best to make their platform as affordable and user-friendly as possible. They do send out weekly emails with certain discounts so that you guys can stay in touch with your favorite spiritual advisors and psychics, and they make it really easy that way. So if you guys are new to Keen, one thing I actually really like about them is when you're going through the sign-up process, they actually ask you a little brief questionnaire and you just fill out a couple of their answers, and they actually match you with their recommended psychics based on your personal needs. So it's actually really easy, and if you guys are like intimidated by scrolling through so many different psychics, this is a really quick process to like help narrow it down, and Keen will actually just, give you your highest recommended psychics for you based on your personal needs, which is really convenient. So if you guys are interested in trying Keen, they're offering a special right now. If you guys want your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, you can follow my link or click it down in the description box, which is trykeen.com/gem for your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. So again, click the link in the description or head to trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. And if you guys want to know my personal experience using Keen and my personal recommendations based on my personal experience, I do recommend actually trying out a few different psychics when you first use them. And the reason why I say that is because there's going to be a few psychics that don't resonate with you. At least that was me in my own experience. Maybe you're going to be lucky and get the first try is going to be the perfect psychic for you, if you're lucky. But I found that I had to browse through 3 different psychics to find one that actually really resonated with me and predicted some very accurate things in my life. So I actually really enjoyed that. So definitely my personal recommendation, try out a few different psychics when you first start them out. And then that's how I personally found one that I enjoyed. So that's my advice. Sending you guys all my love, and a huge shout out again to Keen for sponsoring today's video. Thank you guys so much. Definitely head to that link in the description box if you guys are interested, or head to trykeen.com/gem for your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. And without further ado, let's hop right into today's pick a card reading starting now. Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is the June 2020 love pick a card reading. So this is all about your love life in the month of June of 2020. If you guys are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown of how they work. So over here we have pile number 1, we have pile 2, 3, and 4. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you're the most drawn to, and once you're done choosing your pile, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card, so you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading. But if you guys like to choose with crystals on the cards, we're going to pop some crystals on there right now. Alright, so if you guys like to choose with crystals on the cards, over here we have some blue tiger's eye, over here is lapis lazuli, this is ruby infusionite, and then over here is fantasy quartz. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you're the most drawn to. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card, and then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about your love life in the month of June for 2020. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so pile number 1, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your love prediction for June of 2020. So let's get into it. All right, so pile number 1, here's what we have for you guys. We start off with the Queen of Pentacles, then over here we have the Hierophant, and then over here we have the Hermit. So what all of this means for you guys, when we have the Queen of Pentacles starting off, I feel like whether you guys are single or in a relationship, you're just taking like life in a practical approach in the month of June. The Queen of Pentacles loves to set a very peaceful, warm, put together type of environment. And so if you guys are in a relationship, I see you guys probably like cooking at home meals together, doing stuff where you're just like really fulfilling each other. The Queen of Pentacles loves to take care of their partner. So if you guys are in a relationship, I see the month of June being a very like just peaceful month for you guys. The Queen of Pentacles, she just really enjoys doing what she does. It's not like you're taking care of your partner in a negative way where it's like you're putting so much energy towards them. The Queen of Pentacles loves to just nurture and create like a very practical, traditional, loving home environment. And so I definitely see you guys doing that if you're in a relationship. If you guys are single, I see you guys more or less doing that for yourselves, just creating a very like stable, safe, secure type of environment where you guys just feel loved and nurtured inside. I just get this love and nurturing sense when I'm looking at this card. So for you guys, whether you're in a relationship or single, June is full of just love and nurture, whether that be just for yourself because you're single or for a partner if you guys are in a relationship. If you guys are single, I don't see any love blossoming in the month of June for you guys, but I do see self-love blossoming when we have the Queen of Pentacles upright, because I see you guys really treating yourselves, possibly buying yourselves new gifts as well when we have the Queen of Pentacles. So if you're single, I definitely see you guys having like a treat yourself type of month. So maybe you guys are incurring a little bit of extra money, or maybe you just have a little bit left over and you guys are like, ooh, well, I'm gonna buy myself something nice and I'm gonna do something for myself. I do see self-love increasing massively for those of you who are single, especially since we have the Hierophant and the Hermit next. These are two cards that indicate kind of like staying inside and a lot of introspection and a lot of inner reflection. So again, if you guys are single, I definitely see nurturing yourself. The Hermit over here is like, you guys are definitely having a month where you want to stay inside and really take care of yourself. And again, I just want to repeat, I see you guys doing something really nice for yourselves if you guys are single in the month of June. The Hierophant over here, if you guys are single, this is like keeping things together and not doing anything out of the ordinary. I don't feel like you guys are breaking any sort of rules. I don't feel like you guys are slipping into somebody's bed in the month of June or anything like that. I definitely just see like something very peaceful, calm, serene, stable, nurturing, that kind of environment. If you guys are in a relationship, the Hierophant can sometimes indicate that we're taking things to a higher commitment. In the month of June, it can signify that, although with the current worldly situation, I don't know if that's something that's on your guys' mind for the month of June, but it can indicate that. I just want to point it out. It can indicate that you're making more of a commitment to your relationship, or you just feel extra connected in your relationship. I do feel like there's this extra connection. So if you guys are in a relationship, because of this like deeply nurturing energy that I feel like is going to envelop you guys in the month of June, I feel like it's going to deepen the connection and the romantic partnership and the just the loving connection that you have with your partner when we have the Hierophant. I definitely see like it's just getting deeper, and I do see something just very stable. I don't see anything out of the blue happening for you guys if you're in a relationship. I don't see any like turmoil happening. I don't see anything like super crazy that you guys need to know about. I just see it kind of being like easy, flowing, good. The Hermit to me indicates that if you guys are in a relationship, I don't think you guys are going to be leaving the home a lot. I feel like it's going to be indoors. You guys are, spending time together, maybe cracking open a bottle of wine, cooking a really good meal type of thing. That's what I kind of see when we have these sort of cards happening over here. I definitely see it's just very nurturing, self-love, self-care, nothing too wild or crazy. You're not really going out too much, that sort of thing. The next two cards that we have over here is It Is Safe for You to Love, and then we have Love Yourself First. And so I was talking a lot about self-love, especially for singles early on when we were talking about the Queen of Pentacles. So again, if you guys are single, I want to go back to you guys quickly, that the month of June is all about self-love, rejuvenation, deepening your connection with yourself, falling in love with yourself, really treating yourself. I definitely see you guys being like, okay, this is the month where I'm going to really take care of myself, focus on myself. I drew a little heart there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I did draw you guys a little heart on the table. But I definitely see like you're at a stage where you're like, I'm just gonna, I really just want to love myself and like do something for myself and make myself feel internally good. So I definitely see you guys really focusing on that in the month of June. Both of these cards indicate that, but I also feel like because of this self-love that you guys are doing, if you guys are single, because of this self-love, I feel like you guys are going to open your heart again from the past. So definitely keep that in mind. I feel like you guys are healing, and I feel like most of you guys already feel pretty healed, but I feel like with this deeper self-love, I feel like you're going to realize your self-worth, your taste in whatever people that you like, your taste in lovers or partners is going to deeply change because you're going to start to love yourself. And I feel like you're going to have a different perspective on who you want to love next. And then you're going to start to open up your heart once again. If you guys are in a relationship and these cards came up, this is more like you're putting all that time and effort, you're opening up your heart more. I did see that you guys would have a deeper love connection over here with the Hierophant, and it is safe for you to love. Just lets me know that you guys are opening your heart to a deeper level if you guys are in a relationship. I feel like love is getting deepened over here. Love yourself first. I do feel like there's just a lot of nurturing energy where you guys, you know, you're loving yourself. There's this balance, okay, where I don't feel like you're giving too much away and you're not taking too much either. There's just a really good balance over here. The next two cards that we have is, oh, of course, Rose Quartz. Of course, that would come up for the self-love thing that I'm talking about. And then we also have Lapis Lazuli, which is self-knowledge. So with these two cards right here, just trying to make them straight as possible. There we go. All right. So with these two cards over here, Rose Quartz. Rose Quartz is all about actually self-love. It can deal with romantic type of feelings as well, but for the most part, Rose Quartz induces a lot of self-love. Below it does say love and compassion, and we're kind of talking all about that with the Queen of Pentacles over there. So the month of June is definitely about that, just so you guys know. All about self-love, bringing up love, deepening the romance. So if you guys are in a relationship, this is definitely deepening that romance and feeling like a deeper connection for each other and really wanting to take care of each other and boost each other's confidence and feelings of security and goodness. And then self-knowledge over here. I feel like you guys, if you're single, you are learning a lot more about yourself in the month of June. You're really learning about who you are, what your real tastes in a partner are, because you're really learning how to love yourself, and through that love of yourself, your self-respect is going up, and therefore you're not going to be interested in the same sort of people anymore. This self-knowledge is like really deepening your connection with yourself to a very healthy place. A place where you're going to know yourself so well that immediately when you meet somebody, you're going to know if they're right for you or not. And you're going to really want to get to know somebody deeply beforehand, because you're going to really want to know if they are compatible with you. I do want to say, I do notice, this isn't every single time, I do want to point out it's not every single time, but I do notice a lot of people that haven't really taken the time to get to know themselves very well tend to jump into relationships very quickly, because I feel like they feel compatible with almost everyone, but the reason why they feel compatible with almost everyone is mostly because they're not taking the time to get to know themselves on a deep level. Therefore, they're like, oh, I fit with you, or I fit with you, or I fit with you. A lot of mutable signs in astrology tend to do that, I notice. Not all the time, that's not every single case, but I have seen that a little bit. So this self-knowledge card is just reminding me a lot of those particular situations where, you know, you really get to know yourself on a deeper level, and therefore whenever you meet people, you really desire to get to know them deeper first, because you're like, I want to know if you're compatible with me. I want to know if this is actually gonna work, you know? I do notice that, so just pointing that out. Our next two cards that we have over here, I swear guys, this happens all the time in tarot and it still shocks me every single time. We have Rose Quartz of Love and Compassion. We have Queen of Pentacles of Compassion. Then we have the actual Compassion card over here. Just crazy, crazy, crazy. And we have another pink card, kind of just correlates with that. And then we have Potential. So I feel like you guys are raising your potential, your worth. This gold is just reminding me of like raising your worth. We have gold here and gold here. It's just like this boost of like self-worth. And I do feel like if you guys are single, you are treating yourselves and you're going to open up the potential to have a much deeper, more loving relationship. If you guys are single, I feel like you're opening that compassion again. I feel like you guys are getting a little bit more compassionate with yourselves, going into a lot of self-love. And again, I know this kind of sounds repetitive, but the cards are just kind of repeating the message, so maybe there's a reason why. And if you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like that compassion and passion, you can't have compassion without passion, right? So you're also deepening that connection with your partner. The potential over here, I feel like you're deepening the potential that you have with your partner. You're deepening the love potential that's between you guys. All the above, everything kind of like what I was saying before. The cards are just kind of repeating themselves at this point. And then the next two cards that we have is Speak Truth, and then we have Take Risk. Sorry that you guys can't really see fully of those cards, but running out of table space over here. So Speak Truth. Now's that time in the month of June for you guys to really come out of your shell, say what's on your mind. I feel like June will be like, you know, really liberating yourself. This bird with its wings kind of like really open, I see that as like liberation and feeling very supported, because there's these kind of look like people. No, those are flowers. Oh my gosh, my glasses are not on. Can't see anything. These flowers over here are almost acting as a bed of support below them. So I feel like you guys are really setting a proper foundation for yourselves to feel more confident in the month of June. Whether you guys are in a relationship or single, you're creating a more solid foundation through your actions and through the compassion and nurturing energy that you're going to have in the month of June. I feel like it's going to raise and boost your confidence, and you're going to just feel so much stronger, so much more steady, and so much more secure as a person. And then we have Take Risk over here. I feel like, you know, by the end of June, I feel like you're going to be ready to really get out there again, and you're going to be ready to, if you're single at least, put yourself out there and, you know, get it. You're going to be ready to get it. And if you guys are in a relationship, Take Risk is just, I feel like you're going to be ready to head on to any obstacle or anything with your partner, because it's just deepening that connection that you guys have, solidifying what you guys have, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to also take these Astro Dice and just see any last messages that we have. We have one clearly right there. We have Sagittarius, we have Mercury, and we have the 9th house. So 9th house and, oh wait, no, that's the 6th. That's why there's a dot below it. Okay, so that's ruled by Virgo actually. So we have Sagittarius, we have the house of Virgo, the 6th house, and then we have Mercury. So I feel like the month of June for you guys is really about solidifying your foundations, talking about your foundations with yourself because of Mercury and the 6th house over here. Virgo is actually ruled by Mercury, so I feel like you're working on your communication. You're working on your own mind. You're really taking time to sit with your mind and get to know yourself on a deeper level. And then with Sagittarius, this is philosophical. You're really getting to a philosophical point in the month of June where you guys are like, okay, what really does work for me and what really doesn't? Because 6th house. 6th house is also all about service to other people. And so if you guys are in a relationship, you're going to be really inclined to treating them and doing stuff for them. If you're not, you're going to be of service to yourself in the month of June, and you're going to be really interested in treating yourself. I do see a spontaneous treating yourself type of thing when we have Sagittarius. This is kind of like a spontaneous idea, spontaneous action, especially since we have Mercury, because that's all about action as well. So that is what I am seeing for you guys in the month of June. Pile number 1, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. All right, so pile number 2, if you guys chose this pile, this is gonna be your reading for June of 2020, your love prediction, so I'll hop right into it. Ooh, pile number 2. Look at what we have here. So we start off with Judgment being reversed, and then we have the Knight of Swords upright, and then we have Shadow Work being reversed. So immediately, I'm getting a message for you guys. I have different messages whether you're single or in a relationship. I'll be covering them both throughout the reading, so definitely stay tuned if you guys are hearing more about like relationship or single. Stay tuned, because I'm covering them both in this back and forth as we unlock more cards unlock, as if we're in a video game or something. Anyway, starting off with Judgment being reversed, I'm going to start off for singles. Judgment being reversed. I feel like you guys are letting go of judgments of yourself. Of course, judgment speaks for itself. Upside down, this is talking about really letting go of judgments of the past, letting go of your past actions, letting go of the critical things that you think about yourself, over criticizing yourself, that kind of stuff. The Knight of Swords I see as cutting those thoughts away in the month of June and really coming to terms with, okay, this was my past. These are the actions I took. They made me who I am today because now I realize and I see things on a deeper level, and it's fine. They don't define me anymore. I've moved past it. I feel like you guys are really going to be able to move past past actions, and you're also going to be able to move past criticism and judgments of yourself. The shadow work being reversed over here, I do feel like the month of June is going through the shadow work period. If you guys don't know about shadow work, I have a whole video on shadow work. Essentially, it's going through a process of healing, sort of, and facing the hurt ego parts of ourselves and the trigger points of ourselves and realizing why they're there and going through a much deeper healing process than we normally tend to do. It's a very in-depth thing. If you guys are in a relationship, I see you guys kind of going through, or that you've been going through, a little bit of a rough patch possibly in your relationship, or at least you've been a little bit hard on yourself for your past actions, or you're judging your partner for their past actions and stuff like that. I do see in the month of June you guys are getting to a point of confrontation because the Knight of Swords rule communication and talking and the mind and intellect. And so I see you guys actually having a full conversation in the month of June. And I can see this like eclipse happening in the background of this card, which is just very interesting. Eclipses usually signify, which I don't think we're having any in the month of June, but the card is just really, it's making that part prominent to me. And so I do want to say, I feel like there's a very intense moment happening for you guys and a very defining moment happening for you guys in the month of June, because eclipses usually make very defining, pretty intense moments. They bring about that sort of energy, and since that part of the card is really sticking out to me right now, I feel like you guys are going to be encountering that sort of energy in the month of June, but it's in order to clear these things up. So I don't want you guys to hear this reading and feel like, oh crap, another one of those. Damn it. I don't want you guys walking away thinking that. These moments that we have in life are just so beautiful at the same time of usually being pretty hard, I know, but the most beautiful things happen from those moments if you think about it. Like, if we didn't have those moments, we would go through life holding so much baggage, because of course in life, you know, we're human, we make decisions, it upsets other people, we do this, we do that. We're figuring ourselves out over time, okay? And there's of course some actions that we don't even need to get into that. This is your own journey, so figure it out as you go. But essentially, what I'm trying to say is these moments help us grow as people. So embrace them as they come. Yes, they're hard, but once you get past them, you learn so much from these moments. They really help mold and character build so deeply, and so there's no need to dislike having them in your life. Sure, life can be all fun and roses, but without the growth, I feel like there's just so much missing. And so for you guys, I'm really seeing a lot of growth sort of scenarios happening in the month of June for you guys, whether you're in a relationship or single. But moving on to the next card for my relationship people, the shadow work, I do feel like together you're going to be kind of like really sorting out a lot of things that you guys feel like need to bubble to the surface, that you guys really need to talk about in the month of June. So definitely keep that in mind. I do feel like there's going to be some big conversations. If you guys are in a relationship, if you guys are single, it's just very intense, like self-conversing moments where you're really, you know, getting past some things yourself, or maybe even talking to an ex in the month of June. I do know that we're going through a Mercury retrograde in the month of June, and that always brings back exes for some reason. So if you guys have one and you guys might have not had full closure, or maybe they feel like they didn't get full closure when you guys had ended or something. I feel like they're definitely going to reach out to you in the month of June for that sort of closure. If you guys are single, maybe even if you guys are in a relationship, you might have all the above reaching out to you. But yeah, definitely keep that in mind. The next two cards that we have over here is Let Your Friends Help You and Separation. So this is very interesting. So if you guys are single, I definitely see an ex possibly reaching out to you to talk about the past again. I also see you really sorting out your feelings and taking some time for yourself to really sort through things. And then we have Let Your Friends Help You over here. I definitely feel like, yes, you're going to be supported by friends. We can see these two shadow parts behind this guy. That can be friendship support, and I feel like it's also talking about the shadow work that you're going to be doing and facing your past choices and the things that you've done that made you who you are today. You're a different person than you are today than you were in the past, which is why we have these like two shadow guys behind him, which are the same guy, but like they're his past, you know what I mean? They were a different version of him, and now he's who he is. So yeah, that's what it's kind of talking about. Let your friends help you. I feel like you're going to be supported. I feel like you're going to be talking through a lot of things, bouncing off ideas through other people that are in your life in order to like really sort through things. If you guys are in a relationship, I do see a possible like period of taking some alone time in this relationship. There could be a breakup. I'm really not seeing that very prominently for most of you. For a small portion of you, that could be the case, but for most of you, I feel like there's like this sort of like bigger possible like talk happening and you guys wanting some alone time to think about it for a little while. I definitely see a little bit of that happening. Or you just feel like a bit disconnected from your feelings. This can also be that. Let your friends help you if you're in a relationship. Again, I feel like you're going to be supported. I feel like you're going to be able to really bounce some ideas off of friends. I feel like there's that for you guys. But definitely don't worry too much if you guys are in a relationship because of the separation card. I don't want you guys freaking out over here. I only see a small portion of you guys actually ending a relationship. And if it does end, it's for the better. So don't be too upset about it. It wasn't meant to be if it does end. But for most of you guys, I do see just like a temporary like disconnect over here. The next two cards that we have over here is Peridot, which is rejuvenation. And then we have Sapphire, which is insight. So very deep cards over here. Rejuvenation. I feel like you guys are taking this time to actually like, yes, rejuvenate yourselves, get back on track, start to feel a little bit better, going through self-care, going through self-love, trying to figure out you guys' like feelings and sort through your guys' situation on a deeper level, rejuvenating your guys' relationship as well. So if you guys are in a relationship, I feel like you guys are rejuvenating by going through these deeper talks, you're rejuvenating the relationship. If you guys are single, I feel like you guys are going through all this deep shadow work and confronting like your old actions and other people's old actions, and you're healing because of it. The rejuvenation is all about healing. And then when we have Sapphire over here, which is insight, I feel like talking with friends is going to offer you a lot of insight. I feel like even self-reflection, if you guys are single, is going to offer a lot of insight for you guys. And insight, if you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like you're going to be able to talk through so much. And it does cause a lot of insight for you guys. Even taking a little bit of alone time if you guys need to will help a lot of insight come out of the box. The next two cards that we have over here is Radical Acceptance and then Inexperience. So with these two cards, Radical Acceptance, that's pretty powerful actually. So there's a lot of green happening over here, so I do want to point out that this is all about the heart chakra. So again, I feel like you guys are going through a lot of heart healing. Radical acceptance is like, if you guys are single and you're struggling with something that happened in the past, I feel like you're going to be able to really accept it and move past it in the month of June. If you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like through this talk and through all of the insight that you're going to get, there's going to be this radical acceptance in yourself about a deeper part of this relationship, and you guys will have to figure out what that means for yourselves in the month of June. I feel like it's going to be a little bit different for everyone for their situations. And then we do have Inexperience over here. So you're going to look at your past and the past actions and the past actions of other people as their choices weren't made from a very wise place because they were more inexperienced with life. They didn't know as much as they know today. You didn't know as much as you know today. So you're almost going to have this radical acceptance because of coming to terms with your innocence back then, and you didn't know as much, and just all these kind of things are gonna come to mind in the month of June for you guys. And our last two cards play off of each other very well. We have self-love and love over here. Let me see if I can get these cards in focus. There we go. All right, so self-love and love. Very beautiful. So self-love, I feel like through this radical acceptance, you're going to reach a new point of self-love. You know, there's like this rejuvenating of your, wait, we did have rejuvenate, didn't we? Yeah, okay, there's this like rejuvenating of your love, your inner love. You're going to feel a lot more confident in yourself through the decisions that you're making. You're going to feel a lot more love for yourself and for your, let me get back focused on these cards. There we go. This heart is on fire over here. So I do want to point out that this is like, you guys are almost igniting your passion again. You're almost igniting the love that you have for yourself and the love that you have for others. I feel like you're coming to a cleansing space. Like if we let a bunch of debris build up around our heart, the flames can't burn. Imagine if it's like a debris that flames can't burn through. Like imagine it like a metal or something that's like encasing your heart. The flames won't be able to burn. We're not able to love deeply because we're hurt. We need to remove all these shards that have like come in, and we need to talk about them. We need to release them. We need to let them go. We need to cry about it. We need to really like come to terms with it. Then our heart can burn with love again. Our heart can burn with the passion again, and we're able to love ourselves deeper. We're able to love others deeper, and everything just becomes Gucci after that. And the last part of our reading, I'm going to take these astro dice and find out any more information that we need to know for you guys' love of 2020. So we have the first house, which is all about the self. Then we have Libra, which is all about relationships. And then we have Venus, which is all about relationships. So we're going through a Venus retrograde right now, if you guys don't know. And this is when all of these relationship things are supposed to come up anyway. So it's no wonder that we have this particular reading coming up for the month of June. So don't be too worried about it. It's something that's happening astrologically as well. Libra is ruled by Venus over here. These two deal with love and relationships. Venus is like self-love, rejuvenation, our love for others, the passion that we're able to have, the beauty that we're able to bring into the relationship, and the things that we're able to realize. Libra is all about the balance in the relationship, and so bringing back balance. It's an air sign, so it does rule the intellect and the mind. So I feel like you guys are going to be able to chat through a lot of things, but it also deals with justice and the justice system in the world. Libra is the sign that rules all of those things. And so I feel like you guys are going to be justifying a lot of, or not justifying, that's not the right word. I feel like you guys are going to be judging a lot of things in your relationship or your past relationships or within yourself, even if you haven't been in a relationship before, even coming to terms and really looking deeply, taking a lens and looking deeply at these things and almost going through a justice time where you're going to bring justice to these things by talking about them and communicating about them. And the first house is about how you feel, coming to terms with how it makes you feel internally, self-love internally with yourself, and balancing out the relationship that you have with yourself versus the relationship that you have with others. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys for June of 2020. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so group number 3. This is going to be your love prediction for June of 2020, so let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 3, this is what we have for you guys. We start off with the Ace of Swords over here, then we have the Page of Swords being reversed, and then we have Divine Wisdom being reversed. And so I'm getting a really immediate message. This one connects into it deeply as well. But essentially with the Ace of Swords over here, I'm getting that you guys are up-leveling your consciousness in the month of June, if that makes sense. But I feel like you guys are coming across big realizations, especially in the love department. So things that deal with relationships, how you view relationships, how you view yourself in relationships, all these different dynamics, the way that you view them, your belief systems about them, your perspective on them. you are changing that perspective when we have the Ace of Swords upright. The upright Ace of Swords is always very good, but it always indicates like a very deep wisdom, change of mind, deeper knowledge, stuff like that. And it's funny because we have Divine Wisdom over here. Even though Divine Wisdom is reversed, but I feel like it's because June is about attaining that and on the road and on the journey of figuring out Divine Wisdom. But I do feel like you're on the road there because you have this almost perspective shift in the month of June, since we have the Ace of Swords over here. And the Page of Swords being reversed is like you're letting go of the more, I don't want to call it immature, but for lack of better words, we're going to use the word immature for now. But you're almost letting go of a more immature way of thinking about relationships. It wasn't as developed, and I don't mean that in an insulting way at all. I just mean that in a way of like, I feel like you used to view relationships a certain way, and now you're getting into more of a mature perspective about it. Not that you were like immature. That's not quite the word I'm looking for. So I hope you guys can just like fill in the blanks and understand what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, hope you guys can understand what I'm saying by that. But I feel like you're letting go of this like old perspective that you guys used to have about relationships and love and the way you used to look at it. And you're getting this whole new revamped idea of what you want in a relationship, how you view relationships, how you view yourself in relationships, all those kinds of things that I was saying earlier. And Divine Wisdom, I feel like you're on the road to finally realizing and shifting towards like a more wisdom-based perspective, but you're going to need the experience that comes along with this new perspective in order to get the actual wisdom out of it. So that's why wisdom is reversed over here, because like you're getting the ideas and the belief systems, all the correct belief systems, letting go of the old ones, but you're going to need the experience through this new shift in order to turn it into wisdom. But this is turning into wisdom slowly, so definitely keep that in mind. The next two cards that we have over here is New Love and Unrequited Love. So this one, there's not enough attraction to keep the chemistry going or to keep the relationship going. I don't have my glasses on right now, so I can barely see this, but that's essentially what it says. So if you guys have been interested in somebody and they haven't been giving back to you what you deserve and stuff like that, I feel like you're going to realize that there's probably just not enough attraction or chemistry here to keep pursuing it. So I would say just the month of June is about realizing, okay, I'm going to stop communicating with this person because there just seems to not be enough feedback. If you guys are in a relationship, this is kind of just like getting that new higher perspective and kind of like realizing what you might deserve. Because I feel like if you guys are in a relationship, you're not getting all of the things that you deserve out of this relationship. Not saying that you never will, but if you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like your needs aren't being met in the relationship. And I feel like you're going to have this perspective shift if you're in a relationship. If you guys are single, I feel like you guys are going to let go of a certain person that you've been interested in, because it just seems like the communication's been off and like things just haven't really been, yeah. And I feel like you're going to gain this new perspective. You're going to go through the shift and you're going to realize all the things that this person has taught you through the time of you attempting or trying with them. And I feel like you guys, because of this perspective shift, you're going to be really interested in like, you're going to have a new perspective on love. This new love card is like this new perspective on love. If you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like, again, you're going to have a new perspective on love as well, because you feel like you've been under-met with your needs, like your needs aren't being met. And I feel like in the month of June, you're going to be like, okay, it's time to actually put my foot down and say what I need and say what I want and try to like work this out. Oh, there's my alarm going off right now. Sorry, guys. Anyway, yeah. If you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like you guys are going to be putting your foot down and asking for that. So the next two cards that we have over here, we have self-actualization, and then we have clarity and compromise. So if you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like the self-actualization, you're going to be like, hey, I'm actually here. I'm not some like dead weight that you can just forget about. I have needs that need to be met, and you're going to self-actualize. Like you're going to, I feel like, really put your foot down and be like, I'm a person. This is what I actually need. stop pretending I'm just a shadow or a ghost that doesn't need time or attention. So I feel like if you guys are in a relationship, again, some sort of needs, it doesn't mean that the whole relationship is schlock. I'm just saying that I feel like there's something missing that you guys have been just kind of annoyed with, that you guys are going to need to self-actualize and bring it into your partner's awareness. If you guys are single, I do feel like there's somebody that you've been interested in, but I feel like you're going to be putting your foot down because you're like, wait a minute, I have worth. I'm an actual worthy being. You're self-actualizing yourself in your own mind and realizing your own worth and being like, okay, well, I'm not getting what I want here, therefore that must mean this relationship isn't what I actually want. There's so many of us that seem to be attracted to people that don't really give us what we're actually desiring in a relationship, and we're just hoping that one day they'll like us enough to give us what we want. But a realization that I've come across, at least, is why do we actually like these people if they don't stand up to what we think we want in a relationship? It seems like our mind seems to always make up a scenario like, oh, one day we're going to be all perfect together and everything's going to be great, and they're going to change and they're going to realize how great I am and they're going to realize they've loved me the whole time. It's like, well, no. If they don't do it in the beginning, they probably never will. So stop chasing somebody who doesn't act or treat you the way you would want for the rest of your life. If they don't do that already after like months and months of talking, it's probably not going to happen. They already treat you a certain way. Patterns seem to be very habitual for most people, and a lot of people aren't really willing to change their minds and change their neural pathways. And if there's not enough chemistry or attraction there in the beginning, it's not going to necessarily build just because of whatever. Unfortunately, that doesn't really happen. That's like less than 1% chance of that happening. So if you guys are stuck on somebody that doesn't give you the time and attention that you deserve already as a single person, let them go. It's no bueno, because you don't want to live the rest of your life that way. Anyway, if you guys are in a relationship and you guys haven't been getting your needs met, relationships tend to have this like back and forth, you know. There's always times where sometimes we take our relationships for granted if we've been in them for so long, and we tend to not put as much time or attention to them. Sometimes you just need to bring that into awareness for them to be healed, stuff like that. So if you guys do see something like that happening in your relationship, definitely it's time to bring it into your partner's awareness and be like, hey guys, or not guys. Hopefully you don't have multiple partners, but I mean, if you do, that's fine too, because I know some people, they're actually like aware and desire that. But anyway, yeah, again, like I was saying, just bring it to your partner's awareness. I see that kind of like happening for you guys in the month of June. Moving on to the next card. That was a big explanation. Sorry, guys. This one is clarity and compromise. So if you guys are single, I feel like you're going to realize the true meaning of compromise. I feel like in the moment, even if you guys are in a relationship, I feel like you guys have kind of put compromise more as like an uneven teeter-totter. Like there hasn't been an actual balance. Compromise means it's a 50-50 compromise. It's compromise where you both win and lose at the same time. A compromise isn't one person loses and one person wins. That's not a compromise anymore. That's just the other person getting what they want. What you need to realize is your own self-worth and what you deserve as well. Don't compromise yourself. Compromise together. I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down over there. Next two cards that we have over here is, oh, I swear, guys, this happens all the time in my readings, and it still shocks me to this day when this happens. Divine wisdom and divine wisdom. Like, this happens in every reading, I swear, but it's still, like, every time it happens, I'm just like, what? The chances of that happening through all of the decks that I use and, like, all of the different cards that are in a deck is just it's just mind-blowing that it can still happen. And then we have the New Beginnings card. So, all right. I hear you, Tarot. I hear you loud and clear. So, Divine Wisdom over here, you guys are up-leveling your consciousness, kind of what I was saying with the Ace of Swords over here. You guys are finally realizing your self-worth. You're getting wisdom through your experiences that you've already had, and you're kind of like growing because of it. You're realizing all these different things that you deserve and that you need, and how you need to communicate in order to have a balanced, equal, fair, good, exciting, amazing life. That wisdom's coming to you in the month of June. New beginnings. I feel like you guys are going to start fresh. Ace of Swords is also all about new beginnings. And so I feel like you're going to really start putting your foot down for certain things, cutting away toxic things from your life, no longer putting up with unfair, no good things. And you're going to be able to restart fresh, start from this new page, start from this new beginning. And our next two cards that we have is... Guys... Higher perspective, are you kidding me? It's exactly what I was saying this whole time, is like everything about higher perspective and divine wisdom and all that kind of stuff. So again, you guys are up-leveling your consciousness, up-leveling what you know, that kind of stuff. Connect to heart. You're really connecting to your heart and what you deserve and what you need. And dogs are very loyal. They're very fair. Maybe you guys are actually a dog in Chinese astrology, maybe. I know I am, at least. 1994 babies, woo! Anyway, connect to heart. Connect to your heart and what you really deserve. What is your heart truly telling you? I feel like you give so much because dogs tend to give so much of themselves to people, but they don't necessarily get it back. And they're willing to just give. I feel like you're going to realize the balance in that you need another person who gives to you just as much as you give to them. And moving to our Astro Dice just to get some last little bit of information. We have Pluto, Gemini, and the 7th house. The 7th house is all about relationships. Pluto is all about the transformation and digging up some deeper feelings that you guys have and really digging in there, really getting into some good old transformative ideas and thoughts. Gemini rules the mind and thoughts and thinking. So Ace of Swords and Divine Wisdom, I feel like you guys are, again, digging deep into realizing a lot about relationships, and just you guys are getting deep into it, all right? You guys are getting real deep and realizing what you deserve, realizing your thinking patterns and why you've ended up where you are today, all that jazz. So that's what I see for you guys. Pile number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so pile number 4, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your love prediction for the month of June of 2020, so let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 4, this is what we have for you guys. So we start off with the Lovers being reversed, and then we have the 2 of Cups, which is, I always see these cards as so similar. Then we have the 2 of Cups reversed, and then we have the 7 of Cups upright. And so immediately I'm getting the message for single people. Just so you guys know, I'm going to cover single and relationships throughout this reading, so definitely just keep that in mind. If you guys are single, I'm getting the message that you guys are a little bit confused about your love life. The 7 of Cups always indicates that we have multiple potentials, and so I don't know if some of you guys are actually talking to multiple people, or you guys just don't know what you want. This can also just indicate, even if you don't have multiple people and that's just out of the question, you're like listening to me right now being like, what are you talking about? I have nobody in my life. If that's the case, I feel like you guys don't know what you exactly want in a relationship when we have the 7 of Cups, and so in June, it's kind of like figuring out what you want in a relationship. And I feel like you're changing. I feel like you're actually changing what you want in a relationship in the month of June. I feel like you guys are like looking at all these different people out there. You're probably even scrolling through social media with the emotion of like looking at all your friends who are in relationships, just like, why him? Why her? Why this? Why that? There might be that little sort of perspective, and you guys are probably thinking about, what do I really want in a relationship? If I was in a relationship, what would I want? And I feel like you guys are really getting to a point of like realizing and figuring it out. If you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like there's a little bit of like a disconnect sort of happening in the month of June. I'm not saying a breakup or anything like that, nothing like that, but I almost feel like your interests aren't matching up very easily in the month of June when we have the Seven of Cups over here and we have these two being reversed. Either you guys are distanced right now and can't see each other very much, or if you guys can see each other, there's just some sort of like disconnect in terms of what you guys desire to do and what they desire to do, and it just seems like there's a little bit of an imbalance that needs to be rebalanced out in the month of June for pretty much everyone who's watching this reading who picked this pile, whether you're single or in a relationship. It's just like figuring out all of these different options that you have, or all these different thoughts that you have in your head, and figuring out this like blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let's add some more cards on here to get some more information, because this one is, there's an energy happening in this pile that I can't quite tap into at the moment. So let's add some more cards to get some more information to see if we can figure some more out. So we have express your love, and then we have attraction. So if you guys are in a relationship, it's possible that you guys haven't been like communicating deeply about your feelings lately, and it's kind of been more surface level sort of stuff. And I feel like you guys are desiring to re-spark up that love in the month of June and like reignite this and reignite the attraction that you guys have for each other, because somehow it feels like, again, there's a disconnect. These two are reversed, meaning that there's the potential of having these upright, but it's just not happening at the moment. We are going through a Venus retrograde, and so I do know everyone across the board, whether you're in a relationship or single, is dealing with some sort of like love, self-love type of harmonies and disharmonies right now. Venus retrograde, whenever it happens, we're kind of going over and sweeping out all of the stuff that we kind of like hung on to as baggage, all the stuff that we've ignored for the past little while in our relationships. All that's kind of like bubbling up to the surface. And so you might realize during this time that emotions are pretty high, and all of a sudden you're getting more annoyed with certain things than you normally would. You're feeling things deeper than you normally would, especially if it's like things that need to be fixed in a relationship or in your love life and stuff like that. So even if you guys are single, I feel like you're possibly like thinking about the past, thinking about the future, thinking about all these different things in relationships, and you're really going over like and figuring out, what do I actually want? If there's somebody that you're interested in, I do see you guys actually trying to express this love and attraction in the month of June, but I do want to mention during Venus retrograde, that's a very normally very bad time to do that, because it normally doesn't end well. Anything that happens during a retrograde normally has to be like redone later on, and just yeah. We're also going through a Mercury retrograde in the month of June, so starting anything new, no bueno, no bueno. The month of June is all about restructurizing, fixing, repairing, sweeping, cleaning out, figuring out kind of month when we have Venus and Mercury retrograde, and also Jupiter and Pluto and Saturn retrograde. There's just so many retrogrades happening right now. So definitely keep that in mind. That's kind of like the astrological energy that we're going through in the month of June. So definitely just keep that in mind. The next two cards that we have over here is Alexandrite of Good Fortune, and then Learning with Yellow Jasper. So Good Fortune and Learning. All right, so I do feel like you guys won't have to worry too much with this Good Fortune card. I do feel like if you guys are single, don't worry too much. I feel like everything's going to work out just fine. I feel like this expressing of love and this attraction is going to happen in a correct way, where I don't feel like you guys are going to have to worry about the retrogrades too much. I feel like good things are still going to be happening to you, and positive things are coming into your life. I don't feel like a relationship is starting, because we have these two being reversed over here. So I don't see a relationship starting, but it doesn't mean you can't meet somebody. I feel like even if you guys are talking to somebody right now, that attraction is just gonna grow and prosper, but I don't feel like a relationship is quite happening yet, because we have these two being reversed, but there is some good fortunes happening. If you guys are in a relationship, I do feel like you're going to be able to figure some more stuff out and deepen this connection that you have with your partner if you guys are in a relationship, and kind of fully express your love and realize what you guys actually want and need, and there's good things that happen because of that. And learning, if you guys are in a relationship, I feel like you're going to learn so much more about your partner during this month and figure out like why there's been this disconnect, and figuring out all these different puzzle pieces and how to how to really come back together again and deepen that attraction, because I feel like you guys have been possibly getting a bit too comfortable with each other to the point where you're not tending to each other's needs anymore, and you're not paying attention to what your partner might need anymore, or your partner's not paying attention to what you might need anymore. I feel like it's a two-way street though, and you're going to learn much more about that and be able to fix that and repair that and make it Gucci again. The next two cards that we have over here is the Moon and Generosity. These two are both gold over here, so I do want to mention that does connect with the crown chakra, or if it's more just yellow, this is the solar plexus chakra. So this is about our willpower moving forward, about our connection to others, that kind of stuff, the balance of masculine, feminine energy as well. This is about bringing back the generosity. If you guys are in a relationship, this is bringing back the generosity of that relationship and no longer taking each other for granted, and seeing each other's deeper emotions, which is why we have the Moon. So being able to fully express your deep emotions and being able to fully be aware of other people's emotions and your partner's emotions in order to cater to them properly and balanced and fairly. If you guys are single, I feel like you're going to get deeper in touch with your own emotions. And I also feel like with this generosity card, I do feel like there's going to be somebody that you're interested in, and I feel like you're going to be wanting to, I feel like you're going to feel very uplifted because of it. You're going to feel very, I'm getting from this card that the yellows that I'm seeing right here, you're almost going to be very like attracted to this person, but it's going to uplift your spirit so much to where you're going to be like almost dancing around in your kitchen, that kind of stuff. Like, I don't even see that as a generosity card for if you're single. This is more of like just, there's such a good energy, a solar plexus kind of like fun, lively energy. And then we have the Shadow card, and then we have Ascension. So this is coming to terms and coming face to face with your shadow and with the things that you were unaware of before, and kind of bringing light to the things that you were unaware of before, and realizing what you truly want, again, in a partner, like I was saying before. If you guys are in a relationship, this is coming to terms with the parts that you've started to neglect in yourself and in your partner, and starting to bring those to light so that you can actually cater to them again. And then Ascension is like leaving behind our old ways of doing things and realizing that we need that change, that we need to change up the way that we've been doing stuff, and being able to actually do that and ascend to the next level of upgrading ourselves and our relationship and how we treat ourselves and our relationship. And doing some Astro Dice just to end this off to get some more information. We have, the fourth house, the Sun and Cancer. So getting emotionally in touch. Cancer and the fourth house, those go hand in hand. Cancer is ruled by the fourth house is ruled by Cancer. So this is bringing to light your more nurturing side once again, and what you truly deserve, what you want in a relationship and in your home life, and catering to your emotions, your partner's emotions, being very loving, cuddly, very nurturing to other people, and kind of bringing light to those different emotions and in yourself as well. So that is what I see for you, pile number 4. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.